Growing on Instagram can often be incredibly frustrating and somewhat slow at times. But what if I told you there were some Instagram growth hacks that could help speed that up? Stick around to find out more. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Ethan Bridge and I'm host of the Social Media Marketing School podcast and the guy behind the Instagram page at The Marketing Ethan. I've been building my personal brand on Instagram for quite a while now. The growth initially was somewhat slow, it was frustrating and at times disheartening because I was putting in so much time and effort yet seeing little to no results. And I feel as if a lot of people listening to this will be in the same position as I was back then. But over my time creating, over my time being on the platform, I have found some little tricks and hacks that have helped speed my growth over time, and those are exactly what I'm going to share with you today. So without any further ado, let's just dive straight into tip number 1, and that is Instagram Reels. Instagram Reels at the moment are a relatively new feature to the platform. Some of you may have had them longer than others because Instagram are releasing the feature to different regions at different times. Some of you may have had them for a while, so they may not be as new. But the reach you can receive from Instagram Reels right now is phenomenal. It's like on TikTok. You could have 100, 200 followers on Instagram, yet post a reel and it gets 7,000, 8,000, north of 10,000, north of 100,000 views despite your following. Now, as a small account, as a small creator, this can be phenomenal for increasing your following, increasing your audience, increasing your engagement very early on. So, if I were you, I would be really focusing on producing Instagram Reels. They would be the key focal point of my content strategy. They still are. Despite the following I have today, I produce and am focusing on Instagram Reels more than anything right now. And that is because I understand the potential of them and the potential reach that I can receive from them. Now, one thing that I would mention, posting an Instagram Reel and getting a lot of views is all very well and good. But because they are in that feed where you just swipe through, you've got to think about ways that you can creatively then get people coming to visit your page and consequently following you. Otherwise, you're simply going to get views and not grow. So what I would be doing at the end of all of my Instagram Reels is adding that little call to action, telling people who you are, what you do, and why they should head over to your page and follow you. Because as a small creator, that is what you want at the end of the day. You want to be increasing this audience. So getting a lot of views on an Instagram Reel may be encouraging, but if you aren't then converting those viewers to followers, then not so good in my opinion. But having that call to action, telling people to come and visit your page, who you are, what you do, why they should follow you, will increase the chances of them actually going through that reel, going onto your page and then following you, which could then increase your audience as a result. So let's say you post an Instagram Reel, it gets 60, 70,000 views and you have that call to action. You could go from 200 to 1,000 followers in a week. Now, that is very optimistic, obviously, but it is not impossible because of the reach you can get from Instagram Reels at the moment. Set yourself a challenge. Post 30 Instagram Reels in 30 days. They don't have to be super, super high quality. Just make them valuable and somewhat entertaining, and people will want to watch them. The barrier to entry on Reels at the moment is incredibly low because 1, not everybody has them, and 2, people don't know what to create on them. So if you can create Reels in a style that people aren't creating before, or you shine on camera or make them somewhat entertaining, then your chances of succeeding on Reels are very, very high. So tip number 1, create Instagram Reels. The reach is phenomenal, but make sure you have that call to action telling people to go to your page and potentially follow you. Tip number 2, and this is one that I utilized a lot and really helped me grow, and this is guest posts and collaboration posts. Now, they are two different things and I will mention them. Guest posts are simply when you create a piece of content for another creator in their style, for their niche, Hopefully they'll be in a similar niche to you, otherwise what's the point? But you create the piece of content for them and they will post it. So you've created it, you've done all the work, you simply send it to them and say, hey, look, I've created you this piece of content, it'd be great if you could share it on your page. Now, the reason this is good for you is because at some point on that piece of content, you will mention your account. You will be given credit by that creator for creating that piece of content. Now, the reason other people actually do this and why other creators share guest posts is because content creation is one of the most time-consuming things for a creator, for a business person. And therefore, if you can save them time, you are effectively giving them more time to do something else. So as long as that piece of content is relatable to their niche, is of high value, and looks great, the likelihood of them sharing it is very high. So guest posts are a great way of getting on those bigger pages. Don't shoot low when you go for these guest posts. Obviously, don't go for people with millions of followers, but go for bigger creators in your niche. Go for people with larger audiences that you can leverage, capitalize on, and bring to your own page. But just create these pieces of content. Don't ask in advance. I think you should take the risk, take the time to create that piece of content and just send it and say, look, I've created you this, would really appreciate it if you share it on your page. When you actually ask someone for a guest post, it's much more likely that they're going to say no because, well, why should they help you? But if you've already done it in advance and it looks amazing and provides a lot of value, then it's a kind of a no-brainer from their perspective. So think about doing some guest posts with bigger creators in your niche. Another great one are collaboration posts. Again, collaboration posts are similar, but you will work with another creator and both give each other credit at the end of each of your pieces of content. So you will pick a topic and both create a piece of content on it, giving your own perspective. And then at the end, you will say, go check out X creators post for another perspective or added value on this topic. So you're working together to cross over your audiences and you're sending each other people. Now, the reason again this works is because people, again, it's a no-brainer. You're still creating a piece of content, but on the final slide, you're exchanging audiences. It's not hard to just add a little shout out at the end for another creator. So shoot for people that have larger audiences than you or similar size audiences than you. It's not much extra work on your part, yet you're able to cross over audiences, which is very effective for growing your own. So a very simple tip, but guest posts and collaboration posts are fantastic at leveraging other people's audiences and bringing them into your own, which consequently helps grow your following so much faster. So the next one I want to talk about is something that I've actually shared on my Instagram page as a reel before, but it's a little hack that I've always been using from very, very early on. Now, when it comes to posting a piece of content and it succeeding and being pushed by the algorithm to the explore page or on hashtags, the quality and the success of your post to be pushed is determined obviously by the amount of engagement your post gets. The higher the engagement, obviously the algorithm's going to see that people are enjoying your piece of content and people are staying on the platform. When your piece of content keeps people on the platform, it will be pushed to a wider audience. That is the job of the algorithm. So you want to be increasing the amount of engagement you are getting on your content. So something that I will do, and this is very sneaky, but it works. When people comment on your piece of content, don't be someone that's super quick to like the comment. Reply, but don't like it. Instead, when you post a new piece of content the following day, go back onto that old post and then like all of the comments. Because when you like somebody's comment, they are going to get a notification come through on their phone, assuming that they have notifications on, and it's going to tell them, the marketing Ethan has liked your comment. That gets them psychologically to come back onto Instagram. And because they are then looking at you, because you have liked their comment, they will go back onto your page, see that you've created a new piece of content, and because they've engaged with your previous piece of content, it's likely that they're going to engage with your new piece of content. So you're leveraging all of those past engagers and bringing them back to your new piece of content to engage again, which is obviously increasing the amount of engagement on your piece of content, which increases the likelihood of the algorithm pushing it to a wider audience, which obviously is going to lead to increased growth because more people are seeing your content. And if your content is valuable, then people are going to come through to your page and follow you. But that all comes from liking the comments on the posts that you have posted previously instead of liking them straight away. Very simple hack, but very, very effective to getting people to come and engage on your new piece of content as soon as it has been posted. So just try it. I've been doing it forever and it does work very, very effectively. Now, the final point I want to mention, and we couldn't have an episode on growth hacks without giving the key to all Instagram growth. And very early on, your growth is going to be solely determined by the amount of engagement you are putting in. When you first create pieces of content, the algorithm doesn't know who you are. Nobody knows who you are. So you can't expect them to simply stumble across your page. It doesn't work like that. You have to seek out audience members to bring them to your page. There's no point in posting the most amazing pieces of content in the world, yet no one's seeing them because nobody knows you exist in the first place. To get people to know you exist in the first place, you have to engage. Social media, the key is in the name. You have to be social to succeed. So, yes, this is a very, very cliche point, but to grow your account, to grow your following, to increase your audience size, you have to engage with other creators. Now, this isn't a hack, this isn't something, but I have to put it into this episode. We talk about engagement all the time on this podcast, and the reason I continue to do it is because I want to drill this point home to you guys. Engagement is going to be your key strategy to growth in the beginning. That 0 to 1,000 followers is going to have a direct correlation in the amount of effort you are putting into your engagement. Very, very simple. I was able to get to 1,000 followers in 30 days because I spent hours a day engaging. And after that, yes, your strategy will somewhat shift towards quality of content, but initially, nobody's going to see that content unless you actually engage with the community and other creators and other potential clients. So please go back and listen to my previous episodes about engagement strategies. I've made a couple. I've made some for people that have no time. It's called a 1-hour engagement strategy. But I've also released episodes where I've talked about other engagement strategies. There's one episode where I talk about 3 engagement strategies. So please go back and make sure you listen to those because they are going to really, really help you when it comes to growing on Instagram. Now, sorry to round up with a point that you probably expected, but I did need to put it in there because everyone needs to realize it. This might be the first episode of mine that you're stumbling across, and therefore you need to understand that engagement is very, very important when it comes to Instagram growth. And there you go. They are my 4 Instagram growth hacks. Number 1, we had Instagram Reels. You need to be using these right now. Number 2, we had guest posts and collaboration posts. Number 3, we had liking the comments of your previous posts the day you create your new post. And then finally, and obviously, engagement. Now that does wrap up today's video, but if you did enjoy, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button and turned on post notifications. That way you will never miss a video when I post one. But if you did enjoy, I did just want to mention that this is a part of my podcast series, Social Media Marketing School, and the audio version of the podcast is actually the place to be because I release this content a lot sooner over there than I do here on YouTube. So I will leave some links in the description below. Make sure you are heading down there and subscribing. But if you've got any questions with regards to anything that I've mentioned, please just reach out to me on Instagram at @themarketingethan, send me a DM and I'll make sure I get back to you no matter what. But if you have made it to this point in the video, I just want to finish off by saying thank you all for tuning in and I will see you in the next one.